Hey there, hi there, greetings and salutations. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the top 5 sniper classes, top of the line, your longest of long range guns, the current meta builds, and the best attachments that you should be using on them. If you feel like you've learned something new today or useful, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you want to find your way back to the channel, make sure you turn notifications on so you know every time we post new content. And as always, come hang out with us on Twitch live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Central. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Looking at number 5, and I gotta say, this was probably hard, right? Because there's just not many good snipers right now, and especially with the layout of Caldera, it just makes it a tedious challenge trying to put this together. But we're basing this strictly on stats. We're basing this on the best builds and usage rates and other things. So I think we kind of hit it on the head. Let's go ahead and go through it. Number 5 is going to be your 3-line rifle. I would say this gun is viable, right? It's just viable. It's not for everybody. It may be a personal preference thing. It's not good or very good. It's just viable. Like if you had to pick it up, you could use it type gun. Looking at your muzzle, you're going to run the Mercury silencer. Your barrel's going to be the Ketchxxii. I hope I pronounced that right. 820 millimeter R1M. On your stock, you're going to run the Zach Custom MZ. For your optic, just run the stock optic that comes on it. Don't add anything to it. Underbarrel is going to be the Mark 6 skeletal. Your magazine is going to be your 7.62 times 54 millimeter R 5-round fast mags, and you're going to have lengthened on for your ammunition. Rear grip's going to be taped grip. Your perk's going to be silent focus, and your perk 2 is going to be deep breath. So not a bad build. I know there was, I think it was Iceman Isaac that built a 3-line build that he thought was hit scan. I think the big issue with this gun is you're not going to be moving with it. It's heavy, it's sluggish, its ADS is slow, but all in all, it is viable. So this is the best build out I think you can run for maneuverability and to play Warzone with. Going on into number 4, it's going to be a surpriser. The Modern Warfare SPR 208. This gun at one time was just a monster. It competed until we hit that Car 98 meta, man, and then the SPR just kind of disappeared, but it's making its way back. It's already back up at number 4, man. The monolithic suppressor should be on your muzzle. The SP-R 26-inch barrel should be on your tac laser for laser. Your variable zoom scope should be your optic, and then of course you're going to run the 300 Normarag 5-round mags as your magazine. So the reason I like this optic, man, this variable zoom optic is just because it gives you the magnification. And when you're looking through trees and the jungles and things like that, its ADS speed is pretty decent, so it can handle it, and you get that extra zoom in there. And I think honestly it's just one of the best builds for this gun. So that's number 4. Moving on to number 3, and I will say, back at number 4, the SPR 208 is very good, man. It's not viable. It's better than viable, but it's still not going to be meta or anything like that. I think it's just a very good gun. But looking at number 3 is also a very good gun, and that's going to be your Car 98 from Vanguard. It's got a little bit too much sway in it. We've done some things to kind of condense that the best that we can. Quick scoping and stuff like that, this gun could be a monster if you can handle it. But if you're trying to get all the way sighted in, or you're trying to hold a steady target at a distance, it's kind of tough, man, especially for the beginner to average player. But it's definitely very good. It's number 3 out of 5, right? So for your muzzle, you're going to run the Scout silencer. For your barrel, you're going to run the VDD REO 2K. For your optic, the 1913 variable 4 to 8 times zoom. The reason I like this is one, you can magnify it, the toggle, and zoom in and out from 4 to 8 times, but it also helps improve your accuracy, which you need that with this gun because of the sway that's in it. It's going to reduce your aim down sight speed a little bit and your reload quickness. It doesn't really affect that too much. I don't even know why they put that in there, but your ADS speed's going to be a little slower with this gun, and it's already kind of slow. So we've done some other things to kind of help speed that back up so we don't really lose that. You're going to run the short stock. That's going to increase your movement speed. That's bringing your ADS speed back up where it should be. You're also going to get an increased sprint to fire speed and an aim walking movement speed. So mid to long range, this thing would be nice. But when you're talking long range, it's just, like I said, got too much sway in it. And it's the only reason that it makes it a very good gun and not a meta gun, I think, think, in my opinion. So underbarrel, you're going to run a heavy foregrip. Your magazine's going to be the 8mm Clauser 5-round fast mag. Your ammunition, of course, is going to be lengthened. Your rear grip's going to be a leather grip. Your perk's going to be fleet, and perk 2 is going to be fully loaded. The reason that I like fleet is, one, your weapon swap quickness is increased, but then you add more movement speed with this gun, which I think is definitely needed when you're using this gun, just because of just how weird and clunky it is. I don't know. Maybe you like it better than I do. I'm not sure. For me personally, it's just not the right gun. And when you're comparing stats to other guns, it just gets outplayed. So moving on to number 2. When we get into number 2, we're now talking about meta builds as far as it pertains to sniper rifles. And of course, number 2 coming in is going to be the Swiss K31. This thing is a phenomenal gun. I think, honestly, it's close to being number 1, but it's going to fall short. It's going to come in at number 2. For your muzzle, it's going to be our standard build, the Grew suppressor, the 24.9-inch combat recon for the barrel, the SWAT 5mm laser sight for your laser, fast mag for your magazine, and the airborne elastic wrap for your rear grip. I think, honestly, this gun has everything and all the potential to be the best. I think a lot of it's going to come down to preference and opinions. You're going to have people that just like the Swiss K better than other guns, and that's okay, but there are a few things that make it number 2 and not number 1, and we'll get into that as we move on to number 1. So of course, number 1 in the meta, I think everybody kind of saw this coming. It's going to be the Modern Warfare, the Kar 98, the alpha omega of the snipers. It's been there for so long. It's not leaving. It took a few nerfs and stuff, and it's still there. It's just, it's well-rounded, and it's a monster. Like, if you're a sniper, you know what I mean. The monolithic suppressor, the Singuard 27.6-inch barrel, the tac laser, the sniper scope for your optics. Since we got into Vanguard and we had flinch and other things introduced, stippled grip to me seems to run better. You're gonna have a little more sway and flinch with it, but man, look, if you can hit your shots, it's really not important. I think the ADS and the sprint to fire is gonna come in a little more handy, only because if you're going up against the Vanguard Kar 98, you could lose that ADS battle, but you'll catch them at range, and that's why I think it's important you keep that stippled grip on the back of it. But all in all, this is your meta build. This is the number 1 sniper currently in Warzone and Call of Duty, and I think that, you know, it's gonna need another nerf before it falls off. But I have a feeling when season 2 launches, there was rumors, one, that the loadout buy is coming back, where you don't have to wait to buy your loadout, but then there's also going to be a buff to the Vanguard Kar 98, and I hope if they buff it right, they take the sway out of it. Honestly, that gun could take over and be a beast if it would get its sway and things like that under control. So we'll see what happens, man. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. The update's not far away, but that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's content. Make sure you check out our other videos, top 5 top best AR classes and the top 5 best SMG classes. As always, I'm Ketchxxii, and I'll catch you on the playground.
Ketchxxii.